welcome back to CTV Morning Live. We are joined once again with Brenda Hollingsworth from OJ Hollingsworth Personal Injury. We've had some interesting questions come in, and I know that we want to get to the phones right away. Sure. So hopefully we'll be able to check in with Nancy. Nancy, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Leah. You look great, by the way.
Thank you. I love Nancy already. Nancy, what is your question for Brenda?
Morning, Brenda. I need to find out. I was hit by a Canada Post truck 20 years ago. I had the representative, or whatever you call it, on their side come to my house. You're not going to get any money from us. I wasn't hunting for. And now, 20 years later, continual pain, injury, suffering.
And you want to know if there's anything you can do about that?
Brenda, yeah.
Yeah. So that, in a lot of ways, that's similar to the call we just took about Mexico. A lot of times people don't anticipate the long-term consequences of their accident. So that is why we encourage everybody to take action within the limitation period so that you can, try and get compensation in a timely way. 20 years is going to be very, very difficult. In Ontario, there's a 15-year ultimate limitation period. So generally speaking, there's a 2-year limitation period. Sometimes you can extend that under special circumstances that you need legal advice about. But 20 years, if it's actually 20 years, it's going to be really, really difficult. I'm not saying it's not worth talking to a lawyer about, but it would be a huge challenge. So again, the message is, if you're out there wondering if you should take action or not, you feel a twinge, but you're not disabled, still get a consultation. Call a personal injury lawyer and find out what your options are. Find out how you can preserve that limitation period to protect yourself in the event that you are injured long term.
See, Nancy sounded young. So had she been a child, would this change anything if she had been a young child being hit?
Yeah, that's certainly true. Your limitation period doesn't start to run, generally speaking, or your limitation period will expire at 20 if your accident happened before you were 18. So, yeah, if you were 5. And
not sure, Nancy, that was the case. But
yeah, but if you were 5, you might still have recourse. The limitation period 20 years ago was 7 years. But you're still outside that, and there is that 15-year cutoff, kind of no matter what, that I would be worried about. If you want to talk about it, you can call a personal injury lawyer and see if there's something in your particular case. But generally speaking, it's going to be a real challenge.
I know that we've lost a caller, but I do know Mark, and I don't remember what the question was, because he was calling about being in an accident and if it's in a company vehicle, in terms of which insurances you're looking at. If you're driving a company vehicle, is there a difference as to how things happen?
Yeah,
where
so
it goes through.
If you're in a company car when you have an accident, one consideration is whether or not you're going to be covered by WSIB, and so that's something, if you're hurt, that is going to come into play. But what you want to make sure you do is report the accident to your employer who owns the vehicle and also to your own insurance company. Generally speaking, the rules that decide which insurance company kicks in are sort of sorted out among the insurance companies. So you want to report it to both and let them decide who's going to respond.
How do they do that?
They have priority rules, and if you're talking about accident benefits, you apply to whoever you want. If it were me, I would apply to my own car insurance if I was driving a company car, and they have to respond. Whoever you send the application to must respond. If they don't think they're the right car insurance company, they will find who is the right car insurance company, but they have to pay your benefits in the meantime, whoever receives the application.
Really?
Yeah.
So you probably, the preference is to go with your own?
Well, it's just easier, right? You're not dependent on someone else to make a phone call. You're not dependent on someone else to get you the forms. So that's why I would apply to my own and let them decide.
Would there be assistance within a workplace as to some of these things being handled?
Well, it would depend on the sophistication of the workplace, right? I mean, people who drive trucks and cars for a living, there's sort of very sophisticated workplaces and there's real mom and pop workplaces. So you want to, the easiest thing, and you're not going to be hurt by applying to your own car insurance.
Interesting information. Of course, people can find a ton of it on your website. It's a very interactive website, of course, with also some of the free guides that you've been able to put out. So please check out the website. You can also find a ton of information, including where they are located, which is at 1443 Woodruff Avenue. The website, www.askbrenda.ca. And of course, you can always send them an email as well, info@ottawalawfirm.ca. Brenda, always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We still have plenty more to come here on CTV Morning Live.